Hi everyone, welcome back. I am Soren.
And I'm Kathy, and today we're walking you through something really important for families across Florida, your ESE parent survey.
Yes, so this is one of those tools that might seem simple, but it actually plays a huge role in shaping how schools support students with disabilities, with exceptional needs, and their families as well.
And today we're going to break it all down together. What is the survey? Who can take it? How it's used? And what you can expect when you see it.
Absolutely. So let's get started. Let's start with something very practical. So since we are doing this live, let's go and start sharing our screen. I am going to put it right here. Give me 1 second. And that way, families can actually see what it looks like.
Right, because sometimes just seeing it takes away that uncertainty, right? You can see the format, you can see the types of questions, and how simple it really is to complete.
Yeah, how does that look like?
Good.
Okay, here we go. Let me make it a little bit bigger and then we can get started. All right. So, and as you go through the survey, you're going to see that it's organized by some general questions, but also it's broken down in segments.
Right. The survey includes the general questions and it's broken down into pre-K, K through 12, and then transition.
Yeah. And then as I'm going through, hope I'm not making anybody dizzy. These are the general questions as I'm scrolling. Here we have the pre-K section. Then we are going to page 8. This is where the K to 12 section starts. And then we have the transition, and we're gonna go through that much more in depth.
Yeah. If you scroll back up to the top, Soren, so for example, the pre-K section focuses on early childhood experiences, things like communication, support, and early services.
Yeah, and then the next section where we said was page 8, the K to 12. This one is going to focus on the school age experience, right? So how families interact with the school, teachers, and the ESE services that their child is receiving.
And the transition section focuses on those later years, preparing those students for life after high school. So, like your post-get secondary, whether that's college, work, or independent living.
Yeah, and this is just like a quick overview. We wanted you to see the survey, what it looks like. So I'm going to stop sharing. And this also means that depending on your child's age and experience, there are going to be different parts of the survey that applies to you. So, if your child is not in 12 yet, you're not going to be filling out that section.
Now, a really important question we get is who can take the survey?
No, the answer to that is any parent or guardian of a student that is receiving ESE services in Florida and that are in the public school. They can all take this survey.
So, if your child is receiving exceptional student education, ESC services in Florida, this survey is for you.
Yeah. And it's important to know that your perspective really matters because you are seeing firsthand how the services are working for your students and where there might be gaps, and you can offer that perspective.
Now, Soren, let's talk about purpose because this is where it gets really impactful.
For sure. So the survey is used for strategic planning.
And it also provides guidance for parent engagement initiatives.
So when families respond, they are directly influencing how the district and the states improve communication, support, and collaboration with families.
Not just data, it's direction.
So, Kathy, another important point that we get asked by families oftentimes is this survey available in other language besides
Yes,
English?
yes, it is. It's available in English, Spanish, and Haitian Creole.
And this is very important. It's a critical information for parents to know because, we want families to be able to respond in the language that are the most comfortable with and
Sure.
that understand the lingo,
Yeah.
right?
Because when families understand the questions clearly, then they can give more meaningful feedback.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
We also get asked, is there a difference between paper and digital surveys?
No to that. But families can choose whichever format that they wish. If they more tech savvy, they rather do it on their phone, they can do that, whatever's convenient.
Sure. Some people prefer paper. They like to sit down and take their time.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, right? Whether you do it digital or in paper.
Others prefer digital,
Yeah.
quicker, easier. Can be done
Mm-hmm.
on your phone or your computer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
important thing is participation, not the format.
exactly. So, here is something a lot of people don't realize is that Florida is not the only state that does the survey.
That's right. Florida is one of 17 states using the same performance measures.
And these measures are recommended by the Office of Special Education Programs, which the acronym for that is OSEP, because we have acronyms for everything in special education.
Yeah, this is not just a local effort, it's part of a broader national approach to understanding family engagement in special education.
Yeah, and you know what makes this also a great tool is that the Florida data can be compared and aligned with other states in the US. So it's a great tool.
Yeah. So let's talk about what happens after you submit the survey.
All right, so all the data, the survey data, it all comes together and it's being held by the ESE Parent Survey Project that's based in Miami.
And it's important to note the Department of Education does not access individually returned surveys. I'll
Which is
repeat, it does not access your surveys.
which is super important for privacy, right? The responses are not being reviewed at any level, not at
Right.
local level,
Yeah.
state. Yeah. So
No. And the paper reviews surveys are they're mailed to the project, so they're also safe.
for sure. And then all the data is being compiled, and the report is it's being concluded in the fall of the following school year.
Yeah. So there's a full process to ensure that that data is collected, analyzed, shared, everything appropriate.
Yeah. Okay, another question, Kathy, that we get from families often is how did our district perform, right? So we give all these answers. How did it perform?
And the good news is that the county results are available on the Department of Education's website, right?
Yeah, so you can actually go on the website and see how your district is doing based on the family feedback. So that's why
Yeah.
it's important to fill it out,
Yeah.
right?
And it adds transparency and accountability to the process.
For sure, for sure.
Timing is important too. So the surveys open between February 1st. Is it February 1st? through May 31st.
I want to say it's February 1st. Yes. Okay, so anytime during that period, you can fill out the survey, so there is like a clear window for participation.
We always encourage families not to wait until the very last minute. Um, so try to get in there, within that block of time, and take a few minutes when you can to finish your survey.
Yeah. Kathy, one
Yes.
other question. So let's get very real here, okay? What if a parent reads a question and thinks, I'm not sure what this means? What then? What happens?
Sure. Well, first, we want to encourage you to answer to the best of your ability,
Yeah,
right?
there is
Try.
actually, yeah, there is no
Yeah.
perfect response anyway, right?
And you can also discuss the question with your school's ESE specialists,
Yeah.
maybe even your child's teacher, just get for some clarification.
Yeah, or us, like we might be able to
Mhm.
help, because like we said, there's no perfect response, just your honest perspective. So, ask any of the people that we just mentioned, and we can all help clarify the question.
And you can also, there is a comment section where you can tell them that you needed more clarification on that particular question. And, that the question was confusing. Um, so just so that they take that into account when they're reading that.
Yeah, because that is also valuable feedback. It
Yeah.
improves, it helps improves the survey itself, and that's always good.
So when we step back and look at everything we've covered in this session, the sections, accessibility, the purpose, the process, it all really just points to one thing, right? What is that, Soren?
That is, let me see if I can get a reaction to it. That is, your voice matters.
Yes.
It really
The survey
matters.
is really a way for families to be heard, not just individually, but collectively. And like what Soren was saying, like your let's say you were having a problem understanding that question. If enough people say this question is vague, this question is hard to answer, and they see that and they will edit that question in the future to make sure it's clear. So your voice matters for sure.
For sure. And your voice, meaning your feedback, it helps shape decisions, improve
Mhm.
services, and also strengthen partnership between families and schools. And that collaboration, we always advocate and strive for that collaboration.
So if you're a parent or guardian of a student receiving ESE services in Florida, what?
Take the survey.
Take
Take
the
the
survey. Choose
survey.
the format that works for you
Use the language that you're more comfortable with.
and share your experience.
Yes, because it truly is going to make a difference.
See you in the next segment. Thank you.